السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. لعل في روسيا بحلول نهاية القرن السابع عشر كانت ضرورة معرفة لغات الدول المجاورة في الشرق وعاداتها تعني أنه بات من اللازم تدريب المتخصصين على التعامل مع ثقافات تلك البلدان، وهكذا بدأ جمع الكتب باللغات الشرقية وكذلك القطع الثقافية والمخطوطات. ومع حلول بداية القرن الثامن عشر تفاقمت الحاجة إلى مكتبة خاصة للكتب باللغات الشرقية يمكن استخدامها من قبل خبراء الدولة والعلماء على حد سواء. وفي تشرين الثاني نوفمبر عام 1818 قررت الأكاديمية الروسية للعلوم Russian Academy of Sciences شراء مجموعة من 700 مخطوطة إسلامية من القنصل الفرنسي في حلب وطرابلس آنذاك جي ال غوسو، أحد أقارب الفيلسوف الشهير جون جاك غوسو. أدى المشروع إلى إنشاء قسم جديد داخل الأكاديمية باسم المتحف الآسيوي، والذي تم تحويله لاحقا إلى معهد الدراسات الشرقية، الذي أضحى بالتالي بالمهام العلمية والبحثية والثقافية الموكل إليه بها، يكرس دأب روسيا المستمر في أن تكون جسرا بين الشرق والغرب. في 19 من حزيران يونيو 2007 أمرت هيئة رئاسة أكاديمية العلوم بإعادة تشكيل فرع سان بطرسبرغ لمعهد الدراسات الشرقية تحت اسم المعهد المستقل للمخطوطات الشرقية. ويحتوي هذا المعهد على مجموعة المخطوطات والكتب المطبوعة قديما من أكثر من 100,000 مادة في 65 لغة حية وميتة، كما يمتلك أرشيفا للمستشرقين يحتوي على بعض الوثائق القيمة للغاية عن تاريخ الدراسات الشرقية في روسيا. يطيب لنا أن نستقبل من سان بطرسبرغ أليكسي يانكوفسكي، المخرج الروسي والباحث الميداني البارز في معهد المخطوطات الشرقية التابع للأكاديمية الروسية للعلوم، حيث نلقي الضوء على عين روسيا وقلبها النابض بحب الشرق، والذي حتم عليها التعرف إلى لغات الدول المحيطة بها في المشرق وعاداتها والاندماج والتفاعل معها. ولماذا كل هذا الاهتمام العميق بالمنطقة العربية؟ وما أبرز التحديات في حماية الإرث الثقافي في المشرق؟ أهلا بكم إلى حلقة جديدة من الداخل. معكم زينب صفار، تابعونا. Alexei Yankovsky, prominent researcher at the Institute of Oriental Studies of the Russian Academy of Sciences, historian and documentary filmmaker from St. Petersburg. Welcome to Min al-Dakhil from the Inside, sir.
Thank you very much.
Pure pleasure to have you always. Well, Alexei, Russia has never shun away from its cultural interaction with the West Asia region and the Arab world, as the eye of the heart of Russia is beating with love for the East, and consequently that compelled it to learn more intensively about the languages and customs of the surrounding countries in the Orient, and to build, of course, bridges and interact with them. Why this Russian phenomenal deep interest in the Arab region, and why is Russia interested in studying the cultural heritage in the Arab region today even more?
Zainab, I think this is not only Russian, it is now an issue of our common survival. We met first at the Institute of Oriental Manuscripts in 2016 when we made a conference on protecting the tangible and intangible heritage in armed conflicts as the reaction to Daesh. And the preoccupation was to make the Russian and the European, the Western world more open, and to make it understand better the issues in the Muslim society, and to be closer to each other, not only from the Russian point of view. Mm-hmm. And now we see that the world is becoming still more polarized, and of course it is a great danger for us also. What we simple researchers, scholars, not politics, not world readers, what we can do with this. We can continue the same thing, to try to understand better each other and share this information, try to bring people closer. This is the intention that we'll had and continue to have.
Right. In May, of course, you mentioned that, you referred to it, 2016, under the auspices of the Institute of Oriental Manuscripts, where we met, you have organized an international conference, Facing the Chaos, the protection of tangible and intangible cultural heritage in the 21st century. In this sense, Alexei, and after many reports and high-level consultations, you have created a research program for the future Iraqi-Russian archaeological mission, which led to archaeological exploration in southern Iraq between the years of 2018 and 2019, all the way until 2021. And you had many successful field work seasons. I would appreciate if you can elaborate on your work there, and why did you choose southern Iraq?
First of all, because there was practical possibility to work there. There was peace, and an easy peace, difficult situation on many points, but still peace, and we could go there and work. The second, it always depends on some people. In this case, there was Dr. Abdullah al-Hamdani, an outstanding Iraqi archaeologist and statesman. Then, at the time of the conference, not yet minister, but later he became the Minister of Tourism, Culture and Antiquities of Iraq. And he did quite a lot to promote and protect the heritage of his country, and especially perhaps the southern Iraq, because he was native from the marshes. So he helped us to understand, introduced us into this world, and with his help we could project quite a number of branches of cooperation between the different institutions in Russia and the Iraqi State Board of Antiquities and Heritage. I think this will go on.
Right. Well, academic Nikolai Kazansky of the Institute of Linguistic Studies of the Russian Academy of Sciences, he proposed to make the mission multidisciplinary. You, sir, as part and parcel of this multidisciplinary project, might you explain what that means and what steps were taken to fulfill the aims of this project?
When I was first in Iraq for a reconnaissance and feasibility study in 2017, I was not sure that we must start with archaeology. But the Western colleagues just showed me the examples of this, and we understood that the archaeology is the base for logistics, the base for doing something in a country. And then if we have this possibility, we must also do other things. The academician Nikolai Kazansky was aware of that. And also there is a very good example of a multidisciplinary expedition of the Soviet Union in Yemen, the Soviet Yemeni expedition, which started in 83, if I'm not mistaken, initiated by Petr Graznevich, an outstanding Arabist. So when there are some scholars, you can invite others. And if you study tangible heritage, you can also seize the occasion and meet with people who are there, who are living there, having their customs, their dialects, as in our case, for example.
Yes, Alexei, I would appreciate if you can tell me, what did you in person focus on?
What we actually did, we did 3 fieldwork seasons. One of them was reconnaissance and aerial photography, and then there were two earthenwork, fieldwork with excavations on Tel Dehel, a very large and important city but also investigated by Abdullah Mir al-Hamdani, which was quite probably the capital of the so-called Sealand state, an important state in the southern Iraq at the time when Babylon, the central power in Babylon, were not anymore able to govern. This is a very important site for the theory of history, not also for the history of Iraq. Also, we plan a study of the Sabian Mandai community of Iraq, which these are the people who are, by their language, direct descendants of Neo-Babylonian Aramaic language. So we have them as witnesses of the straight succession line from Neo-Babylonian times. We have still the possibility to meet with them and record and see their manuscripts. So this is all.
This is a unique opportunity, actually.
Yes, yes. So
Yes.
we really can have this not for long. So we must work on this.
You must seize the moment. Actually, we will come to talk about this part of your study, but might you highlight more general themes of the scientific cooperation in the Middle East, in the Arab region, and your attitude towards post-colonial issues, please?
This is perhaps something that hopefully can be typical of the Russian teams. We hope so, we hope so. To have the Iraqi, the Syrians, the Yemenis, whoever, as our real partners. In Iraq, I'm absolutely 100% sure for this. The Iraqi who are in our team are our colleagues, partners, often teachers, and never ever are regarded as some kind of secondary force or whatever. This is, I'm very proud of this, and we are really maintaining this. I think this is extremely important to regard all of us as equal partners, Russians, British, Iraqi, French, whoever. This is essential for the modern world.
As a one group and a one team and a one body with all the organs working for the welfare of this body.
And we have really much to learn from them.
Sure.
Each step we see this.
Right.
So this is our attitude.
Right. You have been to Iraq, of course, during 2020 and 2021, while the pandemic and the political crisis in Iraq. Despite these challenges, these two challenges, that of COVID-19 pandemic and the hassle of a big and deeply entrenched political crisis, yet these did not thwart you and your attempt to do your field research. What challenges, Alexei, have you faced while in Iraq? During that time, I mean.
Very honestly, at any times, the challenges in Iraq and in Russia are the same. Bureaucracy. We have very similar problems in our country, so we can understand each other very well. And about other things, we work with friends, we work with people whom we love, whom we cooperate sincerely. So on terrain, we do not have problems. We help, we are here to help, and we are helped. So either the pandemics or the Tishreen, what was not only in 2020, I was in Baghdad in October 2019. So I saw last Tahrir with my own eyes. I was there, and this is not something that humans must be afraid of. Really, this is human life. There is no challenges. Challenges are.
But you never faced any problem while there.
Yes, of course we did, but these are problems. How to tell you? We had to postpone our coming to Iraq for a couple of weeks. Then we couldn't return because there was no aerial connection anymore, and we stayed longer than. But these are not. It's not something to discuss. I think it is. Well, it is.
Yes, but the interaction from the people of Iraq while there was very phenomenal.
Yes, it is.
Right.
Good.
طيب, while there, what captured your attention the most in relevance to the people and the area?
The people. I think that even since my first coming to Syria in 2008, hospitality. Unusual hospitality. Russians are hospitable too, but this is a different kind of hospitality. It is really very, very, very heartfelt. Also, the attachment to the heritage under the earth. This is something particular because we have in Russia a lot of standing monuments, churches, houses of recent times, but standing on the soil. And in Iraq, lots of things are under the earth. This is archaeology, and archaeology has an utmost importance for them. Also, there is a lot of things in the language which are not tangible. This is just in the souls, in the minds, and we have to be aware of this. Things which are important are often unseen by the naked eye. You have to understand it otherwise. So these are two key points, I would say: the hospitality and the kind of lack of visuality to which we are accustomed. It is not visual; it is elsewhere.
Beautiful. I would appreciate here, Alexei, if you could enlighten us more in talking about your attitude towards Ahl al-Kitab and consequently about the work on Neo-Aramaic languages, namely the studious planning of a study of the Sabian Mandaic community in southern Iraq.
As in Russia, we have many religions. We don't have only the Orthodox Church, which is now like the main church, but also other ways, I would say, other languages to think and to speak of eternal questions. And so this is, for a modern country, it is normal to have different people with different languages. And quite fortunately, the great Islamic tradition since the Prophet understood it. Included also the people who lived with their scriptures on the lands of the shared by the Muslims into their stream of thought. So this is. I was very impressed by being invited to the Mandane house in Nasiriyah, where there is a festival organized by the Shia and the Mandanes around the common topic of maintaining the peace. And like the two communities of the southern Iraq are getting together to provide peace for this country. This was great. I think this is how we should see these things of religious interactions elsewhere. So in the present case, in Russia, we have very, very good circle of the specialists in Aramaic, of the Neo-Aramaic also. There are different, as you know, the Aramaic was the great language of communication in the Near East before the Arabic, like English now in the Western world. So, and now there are almost, it is almost extinguished. There are small islands of Neo-Aramaic, spoken Aramaic, in different places. One of them is
Ma'lula in Syria, true.
Another is Turabdin in Turkey.
True.
And also the Mandanes in southern Iraq. So our colleagues are very, very good in studying Ma'lula and Turabdin, and hopefully they will also come with us to Nasiriyah, to Amara, to Zukashuyuk, to places where some Mandanes perhaps still speak their language. Unfortunately, most of them have left, but we hope that some tradition remains.
Right. Because of your intensive expertise, you're familiar with the problems of protecting cultural property in military conflicts. In this sense, Alexei, you have also been working on some field work, as you said, in Syria, namely in Ma'lula, and in Yemen, in the city of Socotra. Can you highlight briefly, if I may, the type of research you are on, please?
The research in Ma'alula and Socotra was not something I was involved personally in. These were my colleagues from the Institute of Oriental Studies and from the Institute of Classical Antiquity and Oriental Research in another institution of Moscow. But I think that Socotran studies really merit to be known. It is the follow-up of the great Soviet Yemen expedition. They worked not only on Socotra, but later they had the possibility only to remain on Socotra. This is led by Vitaly Naumkin, the academician Vitaly Naumkin, the head of research of our institute, and Leonid Kogan, an eminent Semitologist. They even invited a script for the Socotran language.
Okay. Yes. In recent years, the theme of cultural heritage destruction in the Near East became widely known, Alexei, due to the heinous barbaric activities of some extremist terrorist groups led by ISIS. However, the hype created by such modern subversive actions distracts attention from the true reasons and meaning of the calamities that befell the shared human heritage, whether in Iraq, in Syria, in Yemen, in Afghanistan, in Libya, and other countries. It's a war crime and a well-designed tactic to destroy cultural wealth and shared history and a world heritage, of course. This grim picture, what does it indicate and what message does it communicate?
The main message, I think, is that we shall protect first the people. First the people, then the rocks, then the stones. If we protect the people who bear the knowledge, the memory, the love for the standing and not standing monuments, then there will be someone to reconstruct, to study, to teach. This is really the main thing. Protecting the heritage, material heritage should not obstruct the need to protect living
lives. Yes, true. As a spearhead of facing this chaos, what can you, the Russians, do to protect the world's tangible and intangible heritage? Might you please outline the measures and the recommendations practically feasible from within Russia to protect and safeguard Near Eastern heritage, please?
Well, this is, generally speaking, this is very entangled with the military and political questions which are outside of the reach of scholars of whom I am part.
But what are your recommendations, sir?
Recommendations.
Yes.
Recommendations are to not rely on military force to resolve problems. This is the main recommendation. But I do not think that.
But everyone today is pushing Russia for military, the use of military means.
Yes. It is very hard. Sometimes it is hard to avoid, but it is the last, really, the worst solution. But there are practical things that can be done. And we, especially for this, we assembled the conference in 2016 to find these practical means. And the practical means are to do practical works, to excavate, to share, to teach, to record languages, to meet, to publish. These are things that we can do without going further, which we presently can't, perhaps.
Right. And your last word in this sense, please.
The last word is difficult to pronounce. Salam.
Wa alaikum salam. Yes, as the influential Russian philosopher Alexander Dugin highlights that modern Russia has nothing to impose on Middle East peoples on the ideological level. Russia is essentially in the Middle East to secure multipolarity, not insisting on what should come in exchange to liberalism. Yes, this realism and this flexibility open totally new historical opportunities to Russian-Arab friendship. And yes, Alexei Yankovsky, prominent researcher at the Institute of Oriental Studies of the Russian Academy of Sciences, historian and documentary filmmaker from St. Petersburg. Thank you very much for this profound exchange, sir. Always a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Always welcome, sir. ودائما الشكر لكم مشاهدينا الكرام على طيب المتابعة. للتفاعل أكثر تابعونا على صفحات السوشيال ميديا، وحتى نلتقي من كل فريق عمل من الداخل من كل الميادين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.